Good evening. I'll call to order the Arvada City Council meeting for March 20th, 2023, and call upon Lauren Simpson.
All right. Please bow your heads for a moment of silence. And now please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Kristen Rush, if you'll do the roll call.
Mayor Williams.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Jones. Councilmember Pfeiffer.
Here.
Councilmember Marriott.
Here.
Councilmember Mormon.
Here.
Councilmember Simpson.
Here.
Councilmember Smith.
Mr. Pfeiffer.
I'd like to make a motion to excuse Mayor Pro Tem Jones and Councilmember Smith from tonight's business meeting.
Both have indicated that they're not available tonight. All votes are cast. That passes 5-0. Mr. Jones and Ms. Smith obviously not voting, and their absence is hereby excused. Next, we have the minutes of March 6, 2023. Any changes or corrections? Seeing no requests, they will stand approved as presented. Tonight, we have a very special opportunity to recognize a officer who is with us, and we'll find out. I assume somebody's going to tell us how long you were with us and all that wonderful stuff. But AJ DeAndrea, a former Deputy Chief of Police, is being recognized with an award tonight. And so we are going to turn it over to you all to make that presentation. And then I understand you'd like to do some photos, and so we can set that up however you would like. We have a little bit of time that we can use to do that tonight.
Mr. DeAndrea? Yes. Okay, so you just get to listen, don't read over my shoulder. Hi, I'm Shauna Fritzler with Jeffco DeAngelis Foundation. Thank you so much to Mayor Williams, council members, City Manager Gillis, and city staff for giving us the time and helping us arrange this honor for such a significant member of our community. The Jeffco DeAngelis Foundation is so pleased to announce that Deputy Chief AJ DeAndrea of the Arvada Police Department is a recipient of the inaugural Community Safety Champion of the Year Award. Deputy Chief AJ DeAndrea has been instrumental in the creation and development of tactics and training programs that support school and community safety across North America. AJ has been involved in the creation of peer support programs and mental health support tools for first responders in the aftermath of tragedy, and has provided critical support to communities across the country following mass casualty events, supporting prevention, preparedness, response, and recovery. AJ's trademark single officer response to an active shooter training is recognized throughout Colorado and across the U.S. and Canada as a premier program for law enforcement and school safety professionals. The Jeffco DeAngelis Foundation is proud to host this life-saving program at our Frank DeAngelis Center for Community Safety at no charge for first responders, thanks to AJ's willingness to join with us to help others. The sheer number of critical incidents AJ has responded to in our community is unfortunate, but his experience and leadership, in addition to his positive attitude, has led to safer communities for all of us and others across the nation. Now, I'd just like to share a few comments from some of our board members. From Dr. John Nicoletti, in describing AJ, I'm reminded of a quote that goes something like this: "A ship is safest in the harbor, but that is not what it is built for." This quote describes AJ as he has shown his bravery and courage with his actions throughout his career. From our national treasurer, Frank DeAngelis, AJ is a credit to his profession. He's willing to put his life on the line on a daily basis. He's made a difference and impacted so many lives. He is well respected and is a great role model. He's always been there for me, and I'm blessed to have him in my life. And from John McDonald, AJ defines what it means to be a professional law enforcement leader. At a time in our history when community relations with law enforcement are at a tipping point, AJ demands the best out of everyone who swears an oath to protect, and he gives us his very best every day, representing the city of Arvada with honor and integrity. AJ's dedication and experience has positively impacted hundreds of thousands of children and made our schools and communities safer for everyone. In my role with the foundation, AJ is one of my favorite people to work with, and he is a favorite of our trainees. He is responsive, kind, caring, and has made our world a better place. I have watched him with young officers and seen the care he puts into training, protecting, and supporting them. Beyond his incomparable skills, I have to say that AJ gives the best hugs and has the biggest heart I've ever seen. We are so grateful to AJ for his dedication to our children, schools, law enforcement officers, partners, and communities for being a true community safety hero. Congratulations, Deputy Chief AJ DeAndrea. We appreciate you. And I would love to do pictures if we can. Thank you.
You bet. Would you want us to come down?
Would you mind?
We can do that. Sure. Sure.
You'll notice the award only has your fingerprints on it. You can actually check that for that one too. Everybody, big smiles, big smiles. Thank you so much. Go, AJ. Everybody say, champion. Champion. Thank you so much. Is it pretty? Okay, go ahead.
And the mayor asked if I wanted to say a few words, and just very, very few, which will be odd for me, for people that know I usually can go on and on and on. I just want to say thank you to the foundation. You look at things that are, start from the bottom up, from the community grassroots that have impacted thousands of people across this country. It's an amazing thing to be a part of. I am proud and very honored to receive that award. And with that, Mayor, it would be 30 years August 30th, so my last day is May 5th, so it's a little short of that. But yeah, as an Arvada resident and as a employee of the city for close to 30 years, it's been an absolute honor, and I'm very excited for the next chapters. But thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Next, we have time for public comment. Is there any individual of the public who would like to address City Council tonight? We have no one signed up on Zoom. I'll close the public comment portion. Move on to the consent agenda. We have a few items. R-23025, a resolution authorizing the acceptance of donations made to the Majestic View Nature Center in 2022. The next one's a resolution authorizing change order number 4 to the agreement between the City of Arvada and A1 Chip Seal Company for the 2023 Street Chip and Slurry Seal Program. Next is a resolution authorizing the issuance of a purchase order in an amount not to exceed approximately $595,000 annually to Thatcher Company, Inc. for the purchase of 12.5 sodium hypochlorite chemical for water treatment plant operations. Next one's a resolution accepting a special warranty deed from Urban Drainage and Flood Control District, doing business as Mile High Flood District, to the City of Arvada for property near 15590 West 72nd Avenue. Final one's a resolution authorizing a 3-month extension of 2 leases by and between the City of Arvada and the United States Postal Service for lease of the building at 5885 Allison Street and for lease of the parking lot at 5886 Ammon Street. Mr. Marriott.
Thank you, Your Honor. I move the consent agenda items R23-025 through R23-029 all be approved.
Motions for approval. All votes are cast. That passes 5-0 with Mr. Jones and Ms. Smith being excused absences. Thank you. Next, we have resolutions. The first is Resolution 23-030, a resolution authorizing an amendment to an intergovernmental agreement by and between the City of Arvada and the City and County of Denver, acting by and through its Board of Water Commissioners to accommodate additional temporary work by the board at the North Water Treatment Plant. And Sharon Israel is going to fill us in on this one.
Thank you and good evening. The City of Arvada and Denver Water have an existing intergovernmental agreement for temporary water service at this site. That's the Denver Water North Water Treatment Plant construction site. And they recently approached us and requested permission to continue to use that site as they work through the Gross Reservoir expansion project. The site would continue to be used for staging and construction management. They requested that we would continue this temporary water service to the site through the completion of the Gross Reservoir project, currently anticipated to be July of 2027. With the IGA amendment before you tonight, the city would extend the timeline for temporary service to this site as to meet the Gross Reservoir expansion needs.
Very good. City Council questions or actions, Mr. Marriott?
Yeah, I actually do have a question, and then I'd like to make a motion afterwards. The question I have is, what we're actually authorizing here in the intergovernmental agreement is temporary water service for them, but not actually lease of the site or anything like that. The site is already theirs.
Yes, I'm sorry for any confusion. It's temporary water service. All the pipes and pieces are currently in place, and this IGA would extend that.
Got it. Okay, thank you. So,
Mr. Pfeiffer, do you have a question?
And so what rate are we charging them for water? Our current rates?
We have a negotiated rate, but I don't have it in front of me, Councilmember.
We have a negotiated rate.
Yes.
I'd like to know that rate.
We can provide that for you.
Yeah, because I think out of fairness, we should charge them like anyone else would be charged.
Yeah, we'll get that to you.
And then, can we get a tour of their new facility once it gets completed? What's the time frame on that?
Yes, absolutely get a tour. In fact, I've been talking with them about tours of the North Water site and then also the Gross Reservoir expansion site. I would think sometime in the next 12 months.
Very good.
And one last thing, can we also ask them how much longer they're going to have the bright lights shooting into the sky? Because some of them are temporary, and I think it actually probably violates some sort of night sky.
Yes.
It's been going on for several months, if not a year, but they actually, it lights up the entire valley. So maybe we can start, they've made significant progress, so maybe we can start asking if they can do something about that too. Sorry, I'm being the stick in the mud, but I drive it a lot, and I do also hear some complaints from the folks on the other side of our treatment plant, because it does light up the sky there.
And this is from the, is it the North Water Treatment Plant construction
Yeah.
site that you're
Yes.
referring to?
Yeah, over at Kiewitz working
Okay.
on all that stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not on all the time, so I don't know when, but I hear usually between 3 and 5 that they're on.
Okay.
So,
We'll be happy to follow up on that.
Mr. Marriott?
thank you. I move that R 23-030, a resolution authorizing an amendment to an intergovernmental agreement by and between the City of Arvada and the City and County of Denver, acting by and through its Board of Water Commissioners, to accommodate additional temporary work by the board at the North Water Treatment Plant, be approved.
Motions for approval. All votes are cast. That passes 5-0 with Mr. Jones and Ms. Smith being excused absences. Thank you. Next, we have R 22-031, a resolution authorizing a Colorado State Patrol Academy 2023 agreement for use of the Colorado State Patrol Academy driving track. And Aaron Jacks is going to present this one.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council. As you all are likely aware, the Arvada Police Department conducts annual driver training for all of its employees throughout the year at several times. This agreement would allow APD to use the Colorado State Patrol's driving track on top of Table Mountain for this purpose this year. This is an intergovernmental agreement because it's between, obviously, APD as a department of the City of Arvada and the Colorado State Patrol, so it is required to go to council by resolution. In exchange for a small fee, CSP will allow us to use the track on the conditions that we promise to break whatever we, or excuse me, that we fix whatever we might break. having been up there a few times, I can tell you that pretty much every time something gets broken at some point, but we will take care of that. So this agreement will allow us to use that facility. It's the closest driver training track by far to the APD and makes sense for us. So we'd ask you to approve.
Can we make the use or the approval conditioned upon city council members getting training up there?
I would imagine we could work that in, Mr. Mayor. I still have some contacts with State Patrol, so we'll make a call.
Very good. Mr. Fiver?
I have a question, and I'll make the motion.
That's
sir.
fine.
Does it allocate certain days? Because I heard that track is so full that actually a lot of agencies can't even get up there.
Yes, Mr. Fiber, it's very full. I know we have an agreement to have, I believe it's 5 days up there to be scheduled, but the APD training coordinator did work with State Patrol to figure those out. I believe they're in the fall, but it is very limited on scheduling.
So we do have at least a set number.
Yes, we know when we'll be up there. I don't have those dates.
Yeah, right. I
right
just want to
now.
make sure it's in the writing that we get 5 days, not that we show up and then we write this
Yes.
agreement and we don't get any use of it.
And we actually drafted it to be somewhat open-ended because APD wasn't positive with, training schedules and days changing what that would be, but we do have all that.
And it's just for
built
this
into it.
calendar year, right, only, this agreement?
That's correct, for 2023.
Okay. I will make the motion if there's
You
not
may-
any other questions.
You may proceed.
I move that resolution R23031, a resolution authorizing a Colorado State Patrol Academy 2023 agreement for the use of the Colorado State Patrol Academy driving track be approved.
Motions for approval. All votes are cast. That passes unanimously with Mr. Jones and Ms. Smith being excused absences. And so, Chief, you can get up there and prove your driving skills, okay? Very good. Next, we have R23032, a resolution authorizing acceptance of a license agreement between the Jefferson County Public Library and the City of Arvada for the installation and use of an external camera. And Laura Himmler is going to present this one.
Good evening. The Information Technology Department and the Public Safety Department are requesting this intergovernmental agreement to approve the installation and access to an external security camera on the Jefferson County Library in Old Town Arvada. The purpose of the camera is to deter criminal activity, increase public safety, and provide record of possible incidents. The camera system will be operated in accordance with all applicable laws and regulations, including data privacy and protection. Additionally, access to the camera footage will be restricted to authorized personnel who require access to investigate incidents. So the Arvada team recommends that City Council approve this resolution accepting that intergovernmental agreement.
Very good. I'll open it up to City Council questions or actions. Ms. Simpson, you're first.
I have a question, and then I'll make the motion.
Okay.
So just for curiosity's sake, where will these tapes be secured as the camera footage is collected?
It's, and I don't have my subject matter
Or
expert here tonight, but
Data, not tapes.
Data.
Apparently, I'm stuck in the 90s. 8 tracks.
my understanding is it goes to servers here. I don't know the exact security on it, just because I'm a little rusty on that, in that field, but I can definitely get you more information on that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. Let me pull it up here. If there's no other comments, I'll make
Nope,
the motion.
You may proceed.
All right. I move that R23-032, a resolution authorizing acceptance of a license agreement between Jefferson County Public Library and the City of Arvada for the installation and use of an external camera be approved.
Motions for approval. That passes 5-0 with Mr. Jones and Ms. Smith being excused absences. Thank you. Well, we timed this well tonight. We're able to open our public hearing. I will open the public hearing on Council Bill 23-005, an ordinance repealing and reenacting Section 54-36 MTC Part 8 Pedestrians, amended of Article 2, Model Traffic Code of Chapter 54, Motor Vehicles and Traffic, and adding Section 62-52, Obstruction of Public Passageways, to Article 2, Miscellaneous Offenses of Chapter 62, Offenses. This will be ordinance number 4838, and Janelle Miller will make this presentation.
Thank you and good evening. This ordinance proposes amendments to the Arvada City Code as it relates to obstruction of sidewalks and crosswalks. Essentially, it expands the areas that citizens would be prohibited from obstructing to include things like alleyways, stairwells, etc., in addition to sidewalks and crosswalks. We've just collectively deemed the term as passageways. It additionally broadens the definition of what constitutes an obstruction to include things like the placement of furniture or other personal property within that passageway, or by potentially rendering it hazardous for people that are attempting to cross through it. The ordinance additionally reclassifies the charge as a misdemeanor ordinance violation rather than a non-criminal traffic infraction. This proposed ordinance helps to ensure that all citizens have full and equal access to all city passageways, including those with limited mobility, by prohibiting the obstruction of those public passages. So the Arvada team does recommend that council approve this ordinance.
Is there any member of the public that would like to address City Council on this matter? Seeing none, I'll close the public comment portion, open it up for City Council questions or actions. Mr. Pfeiffer?
I'd like to make the motion if there's any questions.
I see no questions. You may proceed.
I move that Council Bill 23005, an ordinance repealing and reenacting Section 54-36 MTC Part 8 pedestrians, amended of Article 2 Model Traffic Code of Chapter 54 Motor Vehicles and Traffic, and adding Section 62-52 obstruction of public passageways to Article 2 miscellaneous offense of Chapter 62 offenses be approved on final reading number 4838 and ordered published by title only. And I'd like to make a comment that I appreciate the city team putting this together, because this has been a concern of mine with some of the activities in Old Town stuff, and I believe that everyone should have equal access through our passageways as we're deeming it, and I appreciate the city team addressing that.
Mr. Marriott, you wish to speak to the motion?
I did. I wanted to just make a comment too, very similar to Mr. Pfeiffer. I thank you to the team for putting this together. I think it's really important that as we deal with the issues of the day, that we recognize that everyone in the city be treated the same when it comes to access to public places. And I think, unfortunately, we need this type of ordinance here, but it is very important that everyone, regardless of who you are, have access to the places that allow you to pass through, and particularly to city property. So thank you for bringing this ordinance forward. I think you've done a really good job with it, and of course, I'm fully in support.
Very good. Motions for approval. That passes 5-0 with Mr. Jones and Ms. Smith being excused absences. Thank you. Our final public hearing tonight is on Council Bill 23006, an ordinance amending Article 4, liquor tastings of Chapter 6, alcoholic beverages of the Arvada City Code, ordinance number 4839, and Kylie Justice is going to present this one.
Good evening, Council. I'm sure you're aware and have seen on November 8th of 2022, Colorado passed Proposition 125, which has allowed grocery stores and convenience stores to sell wine as of March of 2023. It automatically converted fermented malt beverage retailer licenses to fermented malt beverage and wine retailer licenses. The new fermented malt beverage and wine retailer license allows licensees to offer tastings within their licensed premises. This ordinance simply updates our city code to comply with this change in state law. The Arvada team recommends that City Council approve CB 23006.
Very good. Is there any member of the public that would like to address City Council on this tonight? I'm looking out at the empty council chamber, so there's no one present. And we have nobody by video as well. Very good. I'll close the public comment portion, open up for City Council questions or actions. Ms. Simpson, you're first, then Mr. Mormon.
Oh, if there are no questions, I'll reserve the motion, but, Randy?
I was going to make the motion, but I'll defer to you.
You got to be fast on this stuff.
You know what? I've already had one tonight. You go.
Well, thank you.
What a friendly council we
I
have.
really appreciate that.
Go ahead, Mr. Mormon.
Great. Mr. Mayor, I move that CB 23-006, an ordinance amending Article 4, liquor tastings of Chapter 6, alcoholic beverages of the Arvada City Code, be approved on final reading number 4839 in order published by title only.
Ms. Simpson, you wish to speak to the motion?
Yes, I was just going to say I'll be supporting. For those watching at home, Arvada already allows liquor tastings, so we're updating to allow wine, so actually lower street stuff. So anybody who may be worried about this, it's already allowed with the harder stuff, so we're just updating to allow the other.
Motions for approval. That passes 5-0 with Mr. Jones and Ms. Smith being excused absences. That completes our public hearings for tonight. Seeing that we have no public and no other individuals on Zoom, we have no need for an additional public comment portion. City Council reports. Anybody have anything they want to report on? Mr. Mormon.
I had announced this before, but on Friday, March 31st, I will be having my monthly coffee chat at Sweet Bloom Coffee on Wads and 77th from 2 to 4 p.m., and anyone's invited to come and discuss city issues.
Good. Mr. Pfeiffer.
I just want to tell the two officers, I'm not used to you guys wearing beards. That's a new thing. Almost undercover-ish. The uniform gave it away, but it's new. It's good to see a little bit different rules, huh? So just wanted to say we noticed. I didn't see the chief with him, though. I didn't see the chief have a beard, though.
I've told you I have serious concerns of the chief's ability to grow a beard, which is similar to my inability to grow a beard. So it's a strange bedfellows. A couple of things. One, Luann and I had the great privilege of going to the newest production at the Arvada Center this last Friday night it's called A Book Club. It's part of the repertoire theater production at the Arvada Center in the Black Box. It's a great humorous production, lots of movement, lots of action, great casting. Encourage folks to go see it. And by next week, I will no longer have to wear a cap to city council meetings. The stitches will be out. The frontal lobotomy apparently went really well. Ms. Gillis, on that serious note, you're up.
I can't top any of that, but I will remind you there is no council meeting next week, as a few of you will be attending the National League of Cities Conference. The Arvada Parks Advisory Committee park naming recommendations that was pulled from the agenda tonight will be on the April 3rd agenda.
Very good. Ms. Morris, anything from you?
Nothing from me, Your Honor.
Very good. We stand adjourned.